Hello students, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to start with the continuation of the first lesson, internal hardware devices. Already two classes were over. So you see here ports. Ports are the mediator or interface between the computer system and other peripheral devices. That is the place where you can connect your hardware devices like monitor, keyboard, mouse, webcam, speakers, etc. to the computer. Is known as the ports. Here you see, in short, ports are the slots on the motherboard into which a cable of peripheral devices is plugged in. That is the thing what I told you now. Now we see about the types of ports. First one, serial port. What do you mean by serial port? The picture is given here. This is the serial port. It sends and receives one bit at a time through a single wire pair. It is used to connect external modem with the computer system. You all know modem. Modem means modulator and demodulator. It is used to get connection with the internet. In order to work using the internet, you must have modem in your computer, whether that may be external modem or internal modem. So it sends one bit at a time through the single wire serial port. Next, parallel port. Parallel port, it sends multiple bits at the same time over a number of wires. So it is used to connect scanners and printers with the computer system. Now you see the universal serial bus port. Most of the system cabinets has two or more USB ports. It connects all the peripheral devices such as pen drive, external hard disk, mouse, keyboard, etc. You see, this is the USB port. Here you can connect your pen drive and external hard disk, mouse, keyboard, etc. in this ports only. Now we pass on to the next port, which is PS/2 port. It is used for old versions of computer mouse and keyboard. Old mouse and keyboard, for that we are having this PS2 port. And next one, VGA port, that is video graphics array port. Video graphics array port. It is also the serial port. It connects monitor to the computer's video card. Though VGA is still in use today, it is rapidly being replaced by newer interfaces like DVI and HDMI. It is replaced by the newer interfaces, that is DVI and HDMI. The example that the picture given here, VGA port. Next one is the power connector. It connects the computer's power cable to the SMPs. SMP already we studied. That is switched mode power supply. So power connectors act as the vital link between the device and its source of the power. So to connect the power supply to the SMP, it is used power connector. Next, modem port. Modem port, it connects the PC's modem to the telephone network. Next, socket, it connects microphone, headphone or speaker to the sound card of the computer system. If you have sound card, then only you can hear your voice or you can record your voice through the microphone. So they provide a point-to-point two-way communication between two programs running on the network. Is it clear to all? Here is the socket diagram given. Sockets diagram you see here. So all this diagram, if you have free time, you draw and practice. Next, modem. Modem means modulator and demodulator. You all know very well. There are two types of modem. One is the internal modem and another one is the external modem. Internal modem are of two subdivision, dial-up modem and Wi-Fi. Now we see this elaborately. Modem converts a digital signal into the analog signals and vice versa. Here I want to explain you about the modem. Modem is a device which is used to get connected with another computer through the telephone line. Why do we use telephone line? For getting connection with the internet. If you want to work on the internet, if you want to search something or if you want to operate, you must have the modem which converts a digital signal into analog signal. What do you mean by digital signal? Our computer can understand only the digital signals, but the telephone wire that carries the analog signals. So, if you want to send one message from one computer to another computer, first the computer accepts all the data and information in the digital form. Again, the digital signal will be converted by this modem into the analog signal, and the telephone wire carries these analog signals to the other computer system's modem. That will be converted into digital signal, and that will be stored in the computer, another computer. Basically two types of modem, one internal modem, another one external modem. Internal modem is fixed inside the computer. For example, dial-up modem and Wi-Fi are the internal modems. Dial-up modem, this operate over a telephone line. That is, it requires the network access, phone number, username and password to make a connection. When you double click on the network on your system for getting connection with the internet, that will ask you the username and password. Before that, you must set your username and password. Okay, then only you can use the internet by your system. Now the next one is the Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. It is a popular technology nowadays used. It is also used to access the internet without the telephone lines. It enables the computer to exchange the data wirelessly, that is using the radio waves over a network. For example, Wi-Fi example, data card and USB interface. Okay. Now we pass on to the external modem. External modem, it connects the computer via the cable and it is placed on your desk. You can keep it on your desk. External modems are more expensive than the internal modems. Is it clear to all? Okay, now the lesson over. If you want, you can read the summary also to keep some points in mind. Now we pass on to the book exercise. In the book exercise, you have to do the multiple choice question and fill ups, true or false, match the following by yourself. We will discuss the answer later. Here you see, today I am going to explain you about the answer the following in your first lesson book exercise. First question you see, define memory. Already in the class, theory class, I explained you everything. Once again, I want to say you. You have to mark this in the page 8, lesson 1 page 8. If you see, this paragraph will be there. The capacity of your computer to store data and information is called its memory. It is used to store the input as well as the processing and outputs of the computer. A computer has a large memory. We can easily store text, pictures, games, audio and video files in the computer memory. Okay. If you have, you take your book and mark it, this paragraph in the 8th page for the first question answer. If you don't have book, you take your note and write the question as well as the answer in your note and you study. Now we pass on to the second question. What is a hard disk? This also in the page 8. A hard disk has a very large storage capacity. All the programs like Windows, Logo, Paint, etc. required for working on a computer are stored on its hard disk. It is kept inside the CPU box. Hard disk consists of several disks called platters coated on both the sides with a magnetic material. The platters rotate at a high Now we pass on to the second question. What is a hard disk? You can mark the answer in page 8. A hard disk has a very large storage capacity. All the programs like Windows, Logo, Paint, etc. required for working on a computer are stored on its hard disk. It is kept inside the CPU box. Hard disk consists of several disks called platters coated on both the sides with a special magnetic material. The platters rotate at a high speed driven by a special spindle motor connected to the spindle. Each disk surface is able to store data. Each surface has its own read-write head. The read-write head can operate simultaneously, which means that the data can be transferred more quickly than using a single larger disk. Now you see the third question. What do you mean by machine language? Page number 8 and 9 you refer. When we give instructions to the computer, these instructions get converted into a new language known as machine language. It is in the form of zeros and ones. The computer only understands the language of zeros and ones. Next question. Describe motherboard. Page number 6. A motherboard, also known as mainboard or MOBO, is the main printed circuit board (PCB) found in personal computers. It is one of the most essential components of a computer system. It holds many of the crucial electronic components such as CPU, primary memory, and connectors to input and output devices. This device is often referred to as the mother of all the components attached to it. Next, fifth question. Explain the three components of CPU. See page 7 and mark it. The three components of CPU are: first one, ALU, stands for Arithmetic and Logic Unit. It performs all the arithmetic and logical calculations like addition, subtraction, less than, greater than, and, or, etc. Here you see addition and subtraction are arithmetic operations, and less than, greater than, or relational operator, and are logical operators. CU stands for control unit. It coordinates the information flow that happens inside the processing device like a traffic policeman. Next, MU stands for memory unit. It is engaged in storing the data in the CPU. MU can store data temporarily or permanently. Okay. Now you see here the answer for your book exercise. Choose the correct answer, fill in the blanks, true or false, and match the following given here. You should not see and write this answer in your book. First you write the answer by your own by reading the lesson, and next you verify your answer with this answer key of your book exercise. Now you see the activity zone. The activity zone, first you fill the keywords in the dash, and after that you find and mark these answers, that is keywords in your book like this, and after that you check this answer with your book answer what you have written. Is it clear to all? Next class, we will see about the 6th to 10th question and also the application based questions. Okay. Thank you, students.